Well, it's Sunday evening. I'm sitting here in front of my shed. I've just done a little bit of pottering in the garden. And I'm thinking about getting the vote out. And I've been phoning my cohort of 20 odd people. And some people are not answering during the day. Well, I can understand that, obviously. But I'm going to be phoning again tomorrow. And I hope that my colleagues on the branch team will be doing exactly the same. And we are getting towards the point, as far as I can see, where we are about 2/3 of the way to getting to our 50%. I'm very optimistic. I'm hopeful that we are going to get to our 50%. Now, of course, that means that there are some people who may well have voted, but they haven't told us that they've voted yet. And while you are not by any means compelled or obligated to let us know, it does mean that we're going to have a bit of nail biting throughout the summer if we don't know that we've reached that 50%. If we get that 50% threshold, it just makes it so much easier when we are negotiating with our senior management. They know that everyone is pretty much behind us. If we can actually get over the 50% of membership to have voted, then that is actually a very good turnout. It's only because of the Tory legislation that we have to do this. In the past, we didn't have to get anything like that sort of number. But now, okay, you may say it's good that we can point to that large a turnout, because that means it gives greater strength, even greater strength, to the mandate that we have to go in and negotiate with our managers. But it is absolutely vital that if you've got a ballot form at home and you haven't posted it yet, that you post it tomorrow or the day after. Please don't leave it till the end of this week. If you do that, it's very likely that after the end of term, it won't get done. Now, of course, people have the best intentions, but we really do need to get this vote out. So I hope, colleagues, that we will be able to tell you by the end of the week that Alan, Kate, Lindsay, Matthew, Rod, Bob, and myself, and if I've missed anyone out there, I'm sorry, I haven't got the list in front of me, but we are all trying to make sure that everybody gets their vote counted. No one gets missed out of this process, and that way we can actually stand in front of our senior management and say, look, everybody is concerned about this, and we want to make sure that we are getting a decent pay rise and that we are becoming a real living wage employer, and that our workload issues are genuinely addressed and not just talked about in a workload committee with no real action to follow. So all of those three things are absolute priorities for us as a result of this ballot, and it makes it much, much easier for us to argue the point with all those three aspects: pay, workload, and of course the third element as well. Okay, so pay, workload, and whatever the third one is, which has got out of my mind completely at the moment. And of course the real living wage, isn't it? So we need to be able to argue for all of those three things. We want to be a real living wage employer, which means that our lowest paid colleagues will have a little bit more on top of what they've had this year. Everyone will get more than the derisory 2.5%, which is being offered by the Association of Colleges, and we will actually start seriously addressing the workload issues, which are absolutely critical for people in this college at the moment, when we know that recruitment for staff is not happening in the way that it should do. We know that our learning support colleagues, for example, are very, very hard pushed, but we all are. So on all of those issues, we need to be able to argue strongly, and therefore can I implore you, if you haven't voted yet, find that ballot form and actually stick it in the post box tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon.